Congressman Bud has joined us to address our group. He's currently serving in the House of Representatives for his third term, and he's running in the Senate to replace Richard Burr's seat in 2022. And he has received Trump's endorsement and is an alumni of Appalachian State University. So without further ado, Congressman Bud.
Hey, everybody, I appreciate you all having me here. And, I'm glad you said that I am an alum, right? So that was a surprise to some when I talked to them early on. So let me tell you about how I got started in politics. So I, as a freshman, was over in Bowie dorm, up by the stadium. Still named Bowie, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So one of the first things that they tell us, or probably told anyone that's a freshman, is, hey, do not throw anything out of the window. Right? Did they tell you that when you got here? Right, you're recording this, so this is going to go. All right. Don't throw anything out of the window. But it was an exception because I was the only one that had a dumpster. Well, anybody in room 510 or above or below me had a dumpster right below me. I was like, surely they weren't talking about me. All right, so why would I want to walk all the way to the end of the hall to put my trash in the chute when I could just drop it in the dumpster right below? Well, somebody happened to see that one night, all right? So sent me over to, I guess it's called conduct now, right? And they said, all right, look, you got 20 hours of community service. I said, guilty as charged. I said, well, I'll tell you what, it's 1990, that dates me a bit. It's 1990. There's a big Senate election going on right now with Jesse Helms versus Harvey Gantt, who's the mayor of Charlotte, if you go back in history and find that. And I said, can I make phone calls? Or can I work for the Helms campaign up here in Watauga County? They would never say yes now, right? But they said yes back then. And so I was able to not only give safety talks at all the other campuses about not throwing things out the window, but also I got to go phone bank for Senator Jesse Helms up at Watauga County GOP. So anyway, that was kind of the entry to that. But right now I just show up and I am the Donald J. Trump-endorsed candidate for U.S. Senate 2022. And that's pretty cool. But people want to know the rest of the story. I think Donald Trump is very concerned about the direction of our country right now. And I'm very concerned about the direction of our country. So those are, I just got back from the border last week in Arizona. Not the Del Rio where you're seeing on TV, but it's very concerning what I'm seeing there. Look, the rule of law, we're a very generous country. We let 1 million people in here the right way every single year. I don't think that a group should be allowed to cut in line. And we need to support our CBP down there. So it's very, very concerning what's actually happening. Very frustrating. And one of the things that the Customs and Border Patrol agents told me when I was down there, they said, look, yeah, we want to finish the wall, we want technology, we want budget, and we want more officers and more funding. But what we really need is an administration that has our back, because our hands are tied right now, and very, very frustrating. There's a long list of things, including the way that the mismanagement of Afghanistan and how we're going to behave as a country on the international stage. Are we going to be strong or are we going to be weak? And that was a show of weakness. And it's very scary to our allies like Taiwan, like South Korea, and those that are in Western Europe and that are wondering, what's the U.S. going to do in the future? So very, very concerning there. There's a long list, but let me just tell you a couple things and I want to turn it back over to you all. And see what's on your mind, because it's been just a couple of years since I was up here. And by the way, and I'll share this in a minute, I'm a person of faith, so I'm a Christian, and I got to know a group while I was here, a group, it's now called Crew. It was Campus Crusade back then, now called Crew, and after my freshman year, they said, hey, we got this trip going with a guy named Josh McDowell to the former Soviet Union. So I said, that sounds pretty cool, kind of scary to go to the Soviet, it's actually the Soviet Union at the time, it wasn't former then. But while I was over there, two things happened. One is the Iron Curtain began to collapse, August of '91, while we were there, underneath our feet. And the second thing happened is I met my wife. And people that don't know me or they don't know my wife, they go, well, how's her English? I go, it's great, she's from West Virginia. And she's actually from Marshall University. Right? Right? How about that last week? All right. So I would go up when we were dating. She would drive down here, or I would drive up there and go stay with a guy friend of hers, or a female friend of mine. She would stay at their apartment. And anyway, but we were. I would go to her homecoming, right? And it was App playing Marshall, and anyway, it was in their brand new stadium. Randy Moss was at his peak right then. And we were beating the pants off of them. It was awesome, man. It was great. And I had my app hat on, and I was writing their student section. She said, "You need to take that hat off." So, anyway, smart advice from soon-to-be smart, very smart wife. Anyway, I'm a person of faith. I grew up on a farm in Davie County, about an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes from here. Got to know great people, go to a great church, and friends, the singers and the Rupertos. We've got great family history back there, longtime friends in the room. And so grew up on a family farm. That's our biggest industry in the state, it's agriculture. We've got technology, we've got pharmaceuticals, we've got, the manufacturer, the developer of Fortnite is in North Carolina, if you know that, right? It's in Cary. So, we do amazing things in this state. But the biggest industry is ag. It's east of I-95. Anybody live east of I-95 where they're from originally? Or grew up there? Yeah. Or, west of here, west of Asheville. There's a lot of ag that goes on, right? Where are you from?
Hayesville,
Hayesville.
Clay County.
Yeah. So that's our biggest single industry. So I think we need somebody that understands that part of the state. The other thing I'd say is I'm a business person. I did business here. Loved the business courses here. Anybody a business major here? A couple of business majors. So if you go in on the second floor at the business building, it was a couple years old when it was new, and I know they've probably refreshed the building a couple times. But it's street level when you come in on the second level of above. Y'all know where I'm talking about right there?
Yeah.
If you open those double doors, there's kind of a post in the middle, like a lot of those double glass doors, right? But I was doing a sales presentation for Dr. Pat Patton. He was a phenomenal marketing and sales professor. And I said, Dr. Patton, hey, Ben, how's it going? All right. I said, I'm gonna sell him a Harley Davidson. So I rode a Harley up from the farm to here, and the darn thing wouldn't fit through the door. So I said, I gotta take that post out. So I showed up early with a toolkit, and I took the post out of that door, and rode the Harley in the building, and then we had moved the class to the second floor, down there if you go in on the left, and I got my A. I'll just tell you what, I got my A for the class, because everybody else was selling like craft cheese or different things like that, or let me sell you, this a coat, a sport coat or something. It's like, I'm going to sell the guy a Harley and a leather jacket. I did. It worked well. But so I'm a person. I went into business. After seminary later on, I went into business. I bought out of bankruptcy an indoor shooting range and training center. And I don't know who goes bankrupt in a gun range during Obama, but this person did. So I bought this thing for a local police department. And the training captain, I had one customer, it was the police department. And the training captain, he said, why don't you open this thing for the general public? He said, never underestimate the need of the public to have a safe place to shoot. I said, you're telling me to open this? Absolutely. So we did. So I've had about 11 years, about 50 or 60,000 unique customers. So it's been a great little business. I'm glad to be able to not only protect the Second Amendment in my work, at home in my business, but also up in Washington, D.C. It's a great honor. And the last thing I think we need is you have big choices in the primary. And look, these primaries are awkward moments. I get it. But what we need somebody that's battle tested. Came in 2016, a big primary, 17-way primary. And then the real fight was in 2018. And that's when it was in the toughest Republican district in the state because of the way it was drawn. And anybody from Greensboro? I had 4 red counties, and then I also had half of Guilford County, which was very blue. And so that's what made it a very tough district. So I had to work really hard, and with the former president's help, and with his family's help, we were able to win this thing. And but I've been in the tough races. And I know how to win, and I don't lose on layups. And I believe we can win this one, but I can with your help. Look, the dynamics of the state's becoming a little younger. We're growing as a state. We're going to move from 13 to 14 congressional districts in the state because of our population growth. That's a great sign. But it's also a lot of burden on the state legislature. So Savannah's dad serves in the state legislature, a great friend of mine, Jeff Singer. And but they'll be drawing new lines for Congress. You guys will have a choice there of who to pick. And I'd love to earn your support for the U.S. Senate. And I bet you all have some questions too. Thank you.